Okay, as tempted as I was to have the episode start with like a minute or so of us just going, I, I've restarted the recording, so hi everybody.
Yeah, I was
Hello.
hoping for you to say something. Hello, everybody.
I mean, I was just waiting for any indication. Hey, we're good to go. So I didn't want to start talking without any recording going. Yeah, it's been a lucky week for me. How about you guys?
Mm.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been slow, you know. We're entering into full on summer, so it's getting hot. Schools are closing, which means substitute teaching job is not really needed.
True. Do you switch to like tutoring in the summer? What do you do during the summer?
um, well, I'm gonna see if I can get in for some tutoring, but it's gonna be hard because like next week my family wants to go on a big vacation. So even if I could go and apply for like a tutoring place, then that's gonna have to wait.
That's fair. That's a long summer, so good time.
Yeah.
Unless your family wants to go on vacation for like 2 months or something.
No, 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 no. I I keep thinking about the fact that just recently the movie Morbius came back to theaters.
Yeah,
Mm.
the algorithm
Dude,
doesn't understand irony.
due to popular demand, it came back to theaters on Friday and made $86,000
Which
box
is really
office,
bad.
averaging about 86. Like, it's like 80-ish bucks per theater or something. I don't know.
He was in 1,000 theaters, and
Yeah. So
$85,000
considering
equals $85 per theater. Yes. Um,
and considering that movie tickets cost like what 13 to 14 bucks these days,
about
that's not
7 people saw it.
not a lot of people.
So, I guess the next SpaceX or whatever launch for like going to space is going to include an executive who is strapped to the outside of the rocket.
But don't you understand? They've already greenlit Morbius too.
I mean, I'm not shocked to hear that because it was supposed to be part of a bigger thing. So that could have been approved well before the sales of the first movie were released.
This is the kind of thing that causes sudden and irrevocable like course correction. Like you can practically taste the desperation to get away from this movie that is quite possibly the only movie in history to bomb twice. And now, what the fuck do they do? Because this was supposed to be part of the cinematic universe. This was a character that they were going to bring forward into other films. This was a character that had other characters in their film, I assume. I haven't seen it.
Oh, they had okay. My understanding, I've never seen the movie, and I'm not going to see the movie. My understanding is that they had set up multiple characters within that movie to show up in other future movies. And it also seems to be apparent that going into making this movie, they did not know how Spider-Man No Way Home ended. So there was a lack of communication on that
Okay.
ending and what that meant because apparently, so they actually did a re-release of the movie where they changed the post-credit scene because before it had like Morbius and Vulture like doing a Nick Fury thing for a Sinister Six type thing,
Hmm.
which
Okay.
doesn't work.
I feel like that's Sony wanting to do, that's Sony's property, so they get a nice slice of the pie. And if it's only characters, if it includes characters that are Spider-Man centric, then Sony gets that cut of that pie. So I feel like that's their influence on that.
Despite the fact that Morbius is supposed to be a hero according to this movie. And has no reason to be involved with Spider-Man whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be a hero, but sometimes he morbs. You can't really help it.
Stand back, I'm going to Morb!
I almost wish they said it at some point in the movie, but it's better it isn't.
Even Jared Leto on Twitter is trying to do the how do you do, fellow kids, with him holding a fake script for Morbius to It's Morbin time.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's going to be a reference in the second movie. There's going to be one. It's just how big and how loud is it going to be?
Oh, the executives didn't understand that people were mocking the movie.
They weren't
straight up subhumans.
What they weren't especially mocking the movie. They were mocking the fact that no one saw the movie. The entire joke was it was lines in the movie that no one knew weren't actually in the movie because no one saw it to confirm.
That is how the joke started, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's oh man, I can't believe they said that.
It's the best joke. It's so fucking great. But yeah, no. It only. I feel like it is a fine wine, but also the barrel is about to start rotting.
Yeah, it's got a lifespan on it, and it's running out.
We all thought it was going to fucking die a week ago, maybe. It was going to be one of those short-lived things, a huge explosion, and then you never hear it again. And then you hear it 10 years later, and it's oh yeah, I remember that. That was a weird moment in, culture and stuff. But no, then film executives got involved and did some things that were regrettable. And now here we are. Twice bombed with a sequel in the works.
I can't believe that anybody thought a Morbius movie was a good idea.
I can't believe they fucked it up this badly. They could have done it okay. It's not a terrible property. Don't fuck it up.
The majority of people who would recognize the name Morbius recognize him from the Spider-Man cartoon, where he couldn't say blood, and he couldn't be a vampire and suck blood from people with fangs. So he had suckers on his hands and kept talking about plasma.
Oh.
Wow.
And did a bad Dracula impression.
I mean, you can't not do that.
The Spider-Man cartoon was a very specific thing. We just recorded the thing for another cartoon that was not the Spider-Man cartoon in any way, shape, or form.
But aside from that, if you've read comics, then you'd recognize the name. But the comic reading audience is not that big anymore. And even if they are, you get lost in what to read and what specific things to read and what to keep track of. And
here's the thing with the comics adaptations now. They have plumbed the well for the big names and the big stories. Iron Man, done, gone. Captain America, done, gone. Thor, kind of. I don't want to talk about Thor. My God, I don't want to talk about Thor. Black Widow, done, gone. Hawkeye, kind of. They're running out of big names that everyone will recognize. Well, arguably, they've run out of names that people will recognize. So now they have to go deeper. And all that they get from adaptation, it's no longer name recognition, it's no longer brand recognition. It's just these stories exist, so we don't have to hire that many writers. That's
Except
literally all they're
paradoxically,
getting.
this means they have to try harder now because you're not getting that brand recognition.
Well, not a lot of people recognized, Iron Man.
Yeah, they did.
Tony's. The general public?
Yes.
No.
No, I think Zero's right on this one. If you're not into comics, Iron Man was a little more obscure. He's still an A-lister, obviously, but if you're going to pick one of the obscure ones, yeah.
The biggest one for Marvel was always Spider-Man. Then you had the X-Men movies, and X-Men had its whole animated series.
That's not a fair comparison because you're saying, hey, Spider-Man, X-Men, they were the big one. Yeah, because they had films already.
You say, but like Iron Man? A lot of people who like him and are big fans of Tony Stark and Iron Man now had no idea who he was before the movie dropped.
I mean, I knew who he was. I'm not a comics guy by any stretch of the imagination. I knew who Iron Man was.
Then I suppose it's a mixed bag. Like good old
Yes.
mileage may vary kind of deal.
Like it's weird to say he's an A-lister, but no one knows who he was. Like, okay.
It's not that no one does. It's that he's less likely to be known. Like some people don't, some people do, but he's still popular. It's just, not as widespread.
But
The only
to Morbius.
Yeah, you compare that to Iron Man. At least has his own comics. He has his own stuff. Morbius is a D-lister. I would even say that Iron Man was closer to a B-lister before his movie, rather than an A-lister. But Morbius was definitely D tier. Still is, actually. In fact, he probably has gone down.
Yeah, we are actively learning wrong things about Morbius. We know less about him than nothing.
And if you're gonna pick any of Spider-Man's villains, why Morbius?
I mean, that's kind of been a thing for a while. Pick a lesser known person and revamp them.
It's so easy to just have.
God damn it! I just realized what I said.
Plasma. It's so easy to
the revamping thing.
The revamping, yeah. It's so easy to have just a vampire movie. They follow a formula.
Could have had fun with it. Would have been better.
No.
Did they not have fun with it? I don't know.
Exactly.
Like.
Oh no. So, the guys who wrote Morbius, also wrote the following 2014's Dracula Untold, which has a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
The Last Witch Hunter of 2015, which has a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. Gods of Egypt from 2016. I don't know who remembers that. I remember seeing trailers for it, but never going to see it. That one has a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Gods of Egypt. Was that the Moses retelling thing? Or
No, it portrays the Egyptian god Horus, who partners with a mortal Egyptian thief on a quest to rescue his love and to save the world from Set.
I was thinking of Prince of Egypt. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Then they made the 2017 Power Rangers reboot movie.
Okay.
Which the Power Rangers only actually show up in their armor in I think the last 10 minutes of that movie.
Yeah, I can attest because I fell asleep in the middle and I don't remember anything after that. And they definitely weren't Power Rangers when I fell asleep.
And then, so they decided, you know what? Let's give these guys Morbius for the MCU.
They've proven they can do vampire movies, right?
I mean, the
Technically,
25%.
yes.
Their Dracula Untold movie has a higher Rotten Tomatoes score than Morbius, so
They have a track record of putting out films to completion based on vampires.
That's a high bar right there.
It actually technically is, but that's not the bar you want to clear. Like, getting a movie out is actually really, really, really hard. Every movie that comes out and is actually good is a miracle.
well, these are the writers, the screenwriters specifically. So, yeah, and they had an unknown director as well who did a lot of like short films and such.
Did they Alan Smithy?
No, it was actually George Daniel Espinosa who did some films in like Sweden and Denmark, and I think
Okay.
he did like a few films in the United States. But yeah, I always like to look into these movies and look and see who actually made them, you know, because it gives you a good idea.
It's a weird thing that Disney are doing. Like, this has been a thing for, like, the past few years of just giving these enormous projects to people who have no track record.
It has to have paid off at some point, right? Like, they wouldn't keep doing it if it didn't work.
People thought Loki was okay, I guess? Apparently, I didn't, but people did. I mean, it's weird. Like, maybe they're trying to cultivate new talent, and I don't know. I have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, no, I don't know either.
Like, of all times to do this is quite second to doing this sort of stuff for the Endgame era. This is quite possibly the worst time they could do this because this is going to tank the entire brand.
This was specifically Sony though that did this.
This was Sony and not Marvel?
It was distributed by it was Sony. I mean, Marvel technically
Is
they
Morbius
have the right.
a Spider-Man specific character?
Yes,
Oh.
this is specifically Sony. And they got away with they got away with the Venom movies purely because Venom and Eddie are hilarious, and even though the movies are kind of trash, the character dynamic there was good enough, and the actors were good enough.
Yeah. Tom
They didn't
Hardy
get away with
made
it.
sure that it didn't blow away like a turd in the wind.
Yeah,
I love that line.
but
Ironically,
Jared-
I love that line.
Jared Leto is not good enough to carry this movie.
Oh boy, does he try. Like, For his failings, the last thing you can say is that he doesn't try.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry to occupy the first 15 minutes of this podcast with just discussion about Morbius. It's
Fair
so
enough.
interesting to me.
It is the
It's
cultural
popular enough at the
touchstone none
moment
of us
that
knew
it
we needed.
warrants it. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I'm gonna Morb. In a new D&D game I'm gonna be in starting this week. My character is a wizard, and his spellcasting focus is an orb, and I was tempted to call it the Morb.
Of course, you have to now.
That
But
joke would get old so quick.
I'm split
Again.
between call.
We say that joke would get old. It hasn't. It should have. Hasn't.
See, my brain's like the Morb, but then I shared this idea with Dawn, and Dawn got mad at me, so I decided to go with the Orb of Pondering.
I mean, if anyone tries to accuse you of memeing, you could just say it's not the Morbius thing. It's a magic orb. Morb.
Yeah, see?
Obviously.
Could also go with the Wizorb.
Speaking of D&D, just last night was the end of the prologue for my new game I'm DMing, which involved the player's hometown being destroyed.
Of course it did.
Solid
And
start. Standard.
A
Classic.
lot of NPCs died. And parents that the players had created and made art for have died. Based
Why would they
on
make
different roles
of their parents.
Yeah, because it was going to be a. Okay, so the prologue, I think it was the end of the prologue, but the prologue was like 3 or 4 sessions, technically speaking, of them going around town doing small jobs, odd jobs. Well, something bad is creeping on the horizon. And then it happens, things go down, shock and awe, and there's an escape sequence in which it's going by like chase rules, and complications occur, which, if characters roll poorly, may result in, the NPCs that are trying to escape with them dying. And so, I mean, the party was led to believe that it's just they're gonna go off on their adventure after hanging out in this particular town. I requested that but since your parents are gonna be important, if you could make art and write a little bit on them, that would help me play your parents, because you're all playing kids for the most part. They're all playing like high schoolers. So yeah, it was one of the most brutal sessions I think I've ever DM'd, because I've never DM'd a session where there's been that much NPC death before. And they are very excited to get back to it.
That's fair.
I may have left them on a cliffhanger, and then we're like, oh wait, no, the next time we would have a session, I'm not going to actually be here, so it's going to be an even longer wait. Oops.
Yeah, that's actually kind of the situation I'm in right now. Left off on a cliffhanger and won't have a session for like 2 weeks.
Well, it's a bi-weekly game, so...
Or 3 weeks, so... Yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys been watching the Obi-Wan Kenobi show?
No.
No.
I guess I do have access to Disney Plus. I just kind of forgot.
Pretty good.
Is it... The current meme is that it's just another season of The Mandalorian. Is that true? Or no?
I mean...
Narratively,
No.
technically.
Technically, I mean, it's focused around Obi-Wan 10 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith. And he's on the Sand Planet. Because of course, because he has to watch over Luke, and he's working his 9-to-5 job. But it's tied heavily to the prequels and has a lot of like character study to it. When Darth Vader shows up, because obviously he will. How can you not? They found, so it is the James Earl Jones voice, and it sounds spot on. I think they used some sort of like digital enhancement to make him sound, closely to like what he sounded in the original trilogy.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Although the person in the suit is Hayden Christensen. So if he takes off the helmet, it'll be, Hayden talking. AKA Anakin.
Holy shit, James Earl Jones is still alive. Good for him.
Yes.
Hot damn, he is like 90-something. And once again, feeling bad for guy who... I'm fucking looking it up. Jesus Christ. Guy who was in the suit in the original trilogy. God damn it. He probably couldn't do it anymore, but still.
He's an old Scottish man.
He's Welsh, actually.
Welsh. I could have sworn. Oh, I remembered it wrong.
I am looking it up at the moment.
Yeah. So that was
it's good, I hope.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's very good.
David Prowse. That was it. There we go.
Obi-Wan kind of sucks.
Oh, he's English.
And oh, hey.
Right.
Yeah, Obi-Wan kind of sucks.
Hasn't he always? I thought that was kind of the point.
I mean, he can't really use the Force like he used to. And his connection to it is basically cut off, so nobody finds him. And he's kind of weak in combat. Like, if Obi-Wan's gonna fight, he just pulls out a gun.
Fair.
This is how he's gonna fight until eventually he gets his groove back. But it's not
that's kind of the thing. As long as they're following canon lore abilities, his Force connection is forcibly repressed, so he won't ever get his groove back. Because you need the Force to use the lightsaber right. So,
well, I don't know, but he's just. It's a big recommendation from me so far. Also, season 3 of The Boys dropped like 3 episodes this weekend. And that first episode has some bits that are kind of horrifying to it.
even relatively speaking?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they go for some shock value.
Hmm.
And gross value.
Hmm.
I'm not surprised.
You know the meme about Thanos and Ant-Man?
Ah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they do that.
Okay.
I mean, respect for turning a meme into a thing, so...
Not really. We spent 15 minutes talking about Morbius at the start of this thing.
Yeah, but, like, doing it well.
I mean, it is... I don't want to talk about it anymore. But... that is a show that continues to exist. I enjoy it despite how gross it can be at times and how pessimistic it can be as well. It's a bunch of bad people being bad to each other.
I think we're far enough out from Multiverse of Madness that I'm not going to spoil anything, but some of the characters don't have plot armor, and by God, is it obvious. And it's similar to The Boys, and I appreciated that.
Yeah.
I'm just here waiting for season 2 of Invincible.
I would like that.
Yeah.
Is there any word on that, by the way? I know they were going to make it.
Yeah, they're working on it.
The thing I think of is the difference between Invincible and Morbius is all... not Morbius! No, Invincible and The Boys. Morbius is on my brain. I'm morbing out. Invincible and The Boys is Invincible is written by somebody who loves superheroes, and The Boys is written by somebody who hates them.
I'm not surprised. That makes a lot of sense. Didn't know that, but man.
I mean, for something like The Boys, you kind of have to hate superheroes to write it. Or be severely disaffected regarding superheroes.
Man, I'd be really good at
the entire point.
Be really good at writing a Star Wars story.
I mean, that was what episode 8 was. Star Wars written by somebody who hates Star Wars.
I suppose it depends on your level of hate. You just hate the whole series, yeah, of course it's going to be garbage, but like, you just hate parts of it.
I mean, hating a franchise is one thing, hating a concept is another. Like, superheroes is a concept. You can write a story about superheroes hating superheroes. You can write a story about space opera, like, soft sci-fi fantasy, while hating that concept and just being infuriated by all of it. There is a story there. Whether it's a good one is up for debate, but there's a story there. But hating Star Wars in specific, you shouldn't touch fucking Star Wars then, should you, champ?
That's fair.
Remember how they were going to get the Game of Thrones writers to make the next trilogy of movies?
Yeah. Because their writing chops were so good.
Oh yeah, no, they're very skilled, very skilled, so skilled.
It's only a coincidence that the show started to be shit when George R.R. Martin left.
Yeah. Go play Elden Ring, where all the enemy bosses have a G, an R, or an M. So from that, I went and helped out at my mom's school that she works at because they need help cleaning up and preparing for the next year, and you know that was fun. I got free bread. I went up to the office and they're like, "Hey, we have a bunch of sourdough bread. You can take some home. There's butter too." And I was like, "Oh man!" So I got a plastic bag and filled up on sourdough bread.
Nice.
Now I have free bread stuck in my head.
I went home. My dad's just like, "Why you got all that bread?" They're handing it out. They're just handing out bread. Yeah, free bread. Has some butter too.
Immediately gets in his car.
I would do that.
Seriously, it's stuck in my head.
I did actually immediately get in his car because we were leaving. I took the bread with me on the road. Road bread. I got a Rescue Girl Nendo as well, which is nice. It was on sale.
I feel like I'm just imagining Slice's just perplexed expression as he tries to figure out exactly what you just said.
The
You
character
pretty
Aresh
much nailed it.
Kagal.
What the fuck was that?
The character Aresh Kagal. I got an Nendoroid of her. There she is, posted in recording chat.
Oh, those. Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. So that's nice.
Glad I called that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said a little. I knew what those are. You said the title a little too fast for me to understand what you meant.
Yeah. I just had to stop and slow down. But yeah, it's going slow aside from all that stuff. How you guys doing?
How you
Casey,
doing,
do you want to
Sizer?
go first, or you
You
good?
go first.
All right, I got a pretty short one, honestly. I wrote notes, and then I immediately realized I wrote them in another person's chat. So, whoops. Oh well. So, on the topic of D&D, real quick, not to linger on it too long, have you guys watched EX2 Calamity? Or at least
I
the
have
first
not.
episode? If you don't have time to watch the full first episode, which it's a delight, I fully recommend it, at least watch the first 20 minutes, because holy fuck does it start intense.
Okay.
Brennan brings out his A-plus game. It's good.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out then.
So, not going to say any more details on that, but definitely check it out. Let's see. I've actually been playing a weird amount of Diablo 3 recently. It's like, that's most of my free time. I don't know why. It's not a great game. It's just weirdly enjoyable to just mindlessly do riffs. So that's fun.
Did you know it costs over $100,000 to max a character in Diablo Immortal?
Yeah. Which is a real shame because, like, I've heard good things about the game itself. Like, it's fun to play, apparently. It's just, the microtransactions are horrendous. Never been worse.
Don't you guys have phones?
Yeah,
They
that's.
shouted
I
at
mean,
the
the fact that
audience.
it's a mobile game as well is not great, but you know.
We have phones that we play a bunch of other bullshit microtransaction fests on, yes, that are far, far cheaper than yours. So
I've because I need to multitask or I go crazy. I've also been watching a lot of Asmongold stream. Not well, his YouTube videos specifically.
yeah,
I've been
I
watching
keep getting
some of his-
recommended his clips. Yeah,
I've been watching some of his stuff too. Yeah, I'm getting recommended stuff.
I started watching him because he's covering the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial,
Yep,
and
same.
I had
Yep,
a lot of free
same.
time. I will admit I don't really like Asmon a lot, but I respect a lot of his opinions, even if I don't necessarily agree with most of them.
I'm of a similar opinion.
yeah. I don't know him well enough to even attempt to pass any kind of judgment on who he is as a person. He just kind of rubs me the wrong way. I'm not a fan, and won't really. I need to start hitting not interested on those clips that are getting fronted to me, because just go away, please.
That's fair. I think the only thing that specifically rubbed me the wrong way is I have no idea why anyone talks in his chats, because it feels like anytime anyone says anything, he immediately bans them. I don't know if that's a joke or if he actually is doing that, but yeah. Anyway, he's been covering Diablo Immortal, and I've been watching his videos of those, and I think he really nailed it when he said Blizzard is gonna, at some point, they're going hard now, but at some point in the near future, they're gonna go, oh, okay, we're listening, we're gonna dial this back. We're gonna take out a lot of the microtransactions, and we're just gonna make a game.
The EA
keep some of it in. Yeah. They're going to keep some, or even a lot of it in, but they're going to dial it back, and then they're going to dial it back again, and they're just going to see what people are okay with, and it's going to be disgusting, and it's going to work.
It's going to work on the people that it needs to work on.
Yeah.
Which are the people who are willing to spend thousands.
Yep. So that's a little demoralizing, but I really enjoy the Diablo series. It's meant a lot to me for a very long time, and this is what I get to see it turn into. So that sucks. But on a more positive note, I start the first day of my new job tomorrow. So that's cool.
Yay! What you doing?
I'm a what's my official title? Fuck. I make little medical devices. I'm part of an assembly line, so I like an assembly technician or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Cool.
It pays me $20 an hour to make little medical devices. I don't care what it is. It pays me a lot.
Fair enough.
that's
So-
a pretty good pay.
It's, I mean, I used to be making 13 an hour, so it's 40% more, I think, if that math works.
Is it tiring?
I don't think I ever leave this tiny room where I work with 4 other people. So, well, it's not a tiny room. It's honestly, it's like 30 by 40 feet. Like, it's a pretty big room, but whatever. I don't think so. And you're like low-key encouraged to listen to stuff as long as you know how to do your job right. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So you just listen to podcasts.
Yeah, no, that seems like it's a type of mind-numbing work where like having the music or podcasts or something helps you to just maintain pace.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
do the
that's-
thing. Yeah.
That's why the turnover rate in that field is so high, apparently, is because it's just boring. It's super boring, but I'm okay with that. I'm just there to make money anyway. So, in honor of that, I'm gonna meal prep some tacos tonight after the podcast. Grab some ground turkey and the taco seasoning and all the fixins and stuff. So, looking forward to that. Been a while since I made tacos.
So hungry.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole.
If it helps, that was the last thing. So you can speed through your week and when we can all get food.
And I don't think I actually did that much this week, to be honest.
Just yawning right into the mic.
I'm sleepy.
I mean, what else is new? Casey does that all the time. We
I
all
know
do.
it's a classic Casey move, trademark.
Yeah. Played more Rogue Legacy 2. That's still fun. That's fine. I think I'm close to finishing the actual story of that, which is several new game pluses into the game, which is still stupid, but alright. I have played some more Code Vein, but not recently. I got mildly frustrated with it because of the area that is nothing but narrow ledges for you to get knocked off of.
Oh,
Ouch.
lovely.
I have heard from other people who have played the game that a lot of the game is like that. I hope they're lying. Basically.
There's frustrating environmental design in the game.
For as much of the game is suddenly leap several feet forward, there are far too many very narrow ledges.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
I'm remembering some now that really make me upset when I'm trying to clear an area for items.
Was it the bright red area that is all canyons?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I don't like that area.
It is not fun.
That is, I think, my least favorite area in the game. Aside from maybe one other one, which is far later.
Look forward to that then. That's fine. Whatever. I'll get back to it when I get back to it if I care to.
Yeah.
I feel like I bought another game, but I will have to scroll through and see what it was.
I actually forgot to talk about. I bought Stanley Parable. I didn't play it for very long because I've already beaten it, but it was fun to get back to it. It was nice.
Yeah. Ultra
Is that it?
Deluxe. Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Did I? Is there like a purchase history I can pull up on Steam? I don't know.
Should be, yeah.
Where?
You could also just check your games by date, and it should be one of the most recent ones you've got.
Uh,
While you're looking, did you guys see the new Pokemon trailer?
No. What's it for?
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the new, the Gen
oh
9.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, we do need to talk about
Uh,
that.
I haven't seen the trailer.
I'll send
A
it to
lot of
you.
other stuff.
I'll send it to you while we talk.
Yeah, live slicer reactions. Woo.
But they released a trailer now 4 days ago ish. So it's right there. I'll put it on recording chat. In which they showed off some of the areas. They have like gas station Pokemon centers that you kind of go to and stop at. They're kind of nice. Oh yeah. Also, there's different professors depending on which game you got.
I'm not sure I like the idea of petrol stations as Pokemon centers.
They look gas station like, but if you look up, you can see that there's like 3 different booths on there. Um, it is a way that they are attempting to have these facilities available in the open world without you entering into a loading screen, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Which, if that's the best that they can do, I'll take it.
I mean, the alternative would be having like a ramen stand style shack you just walk up to.
You also have the professors, Professor Sada and Professor Turo. One is the Professor Sada. She is going for a cave woman aesthetic.
She is Ayla from Chrono Trigger.
Yes. Professor Turo is the Chad meme, and he looks like he's about to sell you cryptocurrency.
It is flat out uncanny how close he is to the Chad meme. I haven't heard the crypto thing yet, though.
But they're very clearly themed after both past and future, which is also reflected in the legendaries, Koraidon and Miraidon.
Oh, Christ.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I immediately translated that in my brain because Future Trunks.
So they are. They also the legendaries also look like they're about to transform into motorcycles,
A little bit.
which I feel like they will.
I don't think I've gotten to that part of the trailer yet. I'm only 2 minutes in. I can't wait. To see motorcycle Pokemon.
They also we have.
There are more things for you to look forward to, my dude.
There is Lechonk. I love Lechonk.
The pre-evolved form of Lechungus. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. As
Wasn't that actually a meme like years ago when the Chungus thing was happening?
Yes, but now it's an official Pokemon.
We
Also,
also have-
that's straight up just a dragon motorcycle. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know, right? And you also have Smoliv.
Smoliv.
And
They're getting memey. I don't know whether I think I'm on board with that for now, but we'll see where that goes.
I'm on board. They also said you can have 4-player kind of co-op, I suppose. 4 players running around in the same overworld, catching Pokemon together.
Yeah.
Which, if they're going with the
overworld
Pokemon,
works better now.
With Sword and Shield, we thought we were going to get this feature, but no, you didn't. You could only play with your friends in the raids, and you would just see random players running around the wild area.
Not sure
that you couldn't
whether I
really
even want
interact
that
with.
feature, but that's me not being a big fan of co-op in general.
But I would like to be able to hop into a game with my friends and run around and catch Pokemon together. That sounds like fun, especially with the Legends Arceus catching style. if that's in there, which I do think it is because we see a little bit of one of the trainers crouching, like in Legends Arceus.
Yeah.
Yeah, they was sneaking up on someone, so or something.
Yeah. Given that you can bring forward Legends Arceus Pokemon into this game, I feel like they will reuse as much of Legends Arceus as they can.
Yeah, it's really feeling like they're pivoting towards that style of game rather than the old style,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just going to take that forward. And the other stuff is, you know, they might do it for the remakes, but they're not gonna keep doing the old stuff.
I'd argue, actually, thinking about it, given how short of a time span they have to, develop games, that they kind of decide to get around that by making Legends Arceus and being like, let's just focus on developing a bunch of new systems and then put that as a game so that we can then have more time to make another generational game with those systems in there.
You know what I just said? I immediately take it back because the idea of just having the ability to run cross country across Pokemon America actually sounds really fucking cool.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
like the way Legends Arceus plays and controls. I like the free camera that I have access to. It's nice. So,
And the player character being a part of the battle, whether they like it or not, don't stand in the way of attacks, you moron.
yeah, given that they actually did confirm this because people were analyzing the distance that the player was standing from their Pokemon, it seems like you can still move around in the middle of a battle like you could in Legends Arceus. So it's probably the exact same Legends Arceus system, which is really nice. If it's the exact Legends Arceus catching system, I will probably get both of these games because I like that game so much. Oh, also Sonic Frontiers gameplay dropped.
Apparently it's really
did
bad.
it really?
It happened.
I've only heard that it's terrible. What? Awfully Silent Zero.
I don't think it's terrible.
I don't think it's gameplay. That's not to denigrate the gameplay style. That's to denigrate whether it's even like actually how the game will play. I think that's alpha as fuck.
They released multiple trailers, showcasing different aspects of it.
Oh, have they released
And-
more trailers?
Yes, there are multiple trailers.
Oh, okay, yeah. I saw the thing with like, hey, there are grind rails. Like, okay,
Because they also released a combat trailer showcasing how the combat works. I think it was just those two, the initial one and then the combat one they released a day later. Yeah. I think that they're trying something new, but also it looks very much like a fan game right now.
that's a weird way to phrase it, considering the fan game that we got. Like, is that a good or bad thing? Is that a good fan game or a bad fan game?
When I say that, I mean like you have these fan games that will drop Sonic in like Unreal Engine environment and have their own variations of how the physics engine will work and whatnot. But this looks like not like the really good ones. This looks like incomplete. Yeah. I'm excited to see what what comes of this. If it ends up releasing and being good, I'd be happy. But just kind of dropped. And there's also a whole Sony State of Play thing for PlayStation, where they showed off the Final Fantasy 16 trailer as well as the trailer for Resident Evil 4 Remake.
God, I can't wait.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be fun. Gotta wait till 2023.
Yeah. If it's only on PS5, I think that's actually a system seller for me.
The 4 remake is going to be weird. Because 1, 2, and 3, yeah, they needed some updates. 4 still plays fine.
The worry is if they're gonna bungle it.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, the thing is, the gameplay the remakes have been aping in 1, 2, and 3 is the gameplay of 4. Like, straight up, that's just it. Not 4 remake, just 4.
Sort of. It's 4 with a lot of quality of life upgrades, which is what my hope is what they're going to add in, as well as just graphics, better, just a lot of quality of life stuff.
Okay, let me ask you the important question. Attaché case, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to. The attaché organization game is half the fucking game.
Yeah, the item management, that's... You can't. If you touch that, the game's ruined.
They will.
Also,
though.
it's kind of important for the pacing. Like, the reason you can't immediately get 1,000 rocket launchers is 1, because you can't afford it, and 2, because you can't fit them in your box. It's a big investment to carry around a rocket launcher with you for most of the game.
Yeah.
I hope. I don't know. I didn't play 4, so I can't really speak to much on this, but it's going to be a weird one, whether it comes out good or not.
Have you played Resident Evil 2 or 3 remake?
I have not. No, I've only played the original 1, 2, and 3, and Code Veronica. They skipped Code Veronica, which makes me a little sad. Poor Steve.
That one deserves a remake. Honestly, it does.
Yeah, it was a good game.
I own it. I mean, I bought it. I don't really have a desire to play it because it just doesn't.
I mean, it's the old Resident Evil. You don't really want to play that anymore. It is very antiquated.
Yeah.
My experience with Resident Evil is such a weird one because it's always been the game that my dad plays. And as I've gone older, I've gone from assisting him and not getting lost to my dad can't beat the boss, so he hands the controller to me.
The older brother in this scenario.
So, I've actually had a surprising amount of experience playing just the boss fights of Resident Evil, or on occasion having him hand me the controller so I can find out where he should go next and not get him turned around. And in those short, brief moments, I've enjoyed what I've played of the remakes.
That's fair. But no, I did initially ask if you had played it before because the shooting and the moving feels really good in the remakes. Like, they really improved it.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they just do that, I think it'll be great.
I should clarify, I played 1, 2, 3, Code Veronica, and 5. So, I guess I skipped the best and worst Resident Evil games.
Okay. 5 I did play a lot of, and I enjoyed playing that, especially with co-op with my dad, because I that was the main sell of it for me was I'll just play it with my dad rather than just sit on the sidelines. Then I played 6. I played through Jake's story in 6, where he punches the zombies, and then I stopped playing.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I tried one of the other routes, like Leon's route, and I was just like, no, I'm done.
Well, considering Leon's route was considered the good one and it didn't grab you, that pretty much says enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Was there anything else in the state of play thing? It was
There was Street Fighter 6.
Oh yeah, that was a thing. It looked like a game that does things other than fighting, which was weird.
Yeah.
Like there was a whole sequence of a dude just walking around in a place, and it looked like gameplay.
Looked like gameplay.
I don't really know what that's about, but you know.
I didn't watch it, so I'm not exactly sure.
Chun-Li has a big ass, but that's not exactly a change.
That's usual.
Obviously.
That's the normal situation.
Yeah. What do you hope for?
Yeah. A bunch of VR stuff they dropped as well.
Yeah. Nobody cares. Well, people care, but I don't care, so nobody cares.
But, you know, I just... Those are the two big ones for me was, you know, FF16, which looks good, but we still haven't seen a whole bunch, but that's fine. I have confidence in that one actually being good.
Oh, there was the Stray Cat game called Stray.
Yeah, there's Stray. Yeah, Stray.
Yeah.
You want to play as a cat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cat game. Yeah. I guess that's everything from State of Play.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it, so I can't really weigh in much. So that's why
those are the only things that really grabbed me. I mean, there was The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, the Callisto Protocol, Dragon Age got a title for a game.
I didn't even see that bit. In fairness, I watched a highlight reel from DB Geek, so that was
the Rollerdrome game.
Yeah, that actually looked cool. It looked dorky, but cool.
Tunic, Season, A Letter to the Future, Spider-Man on PC.
Yeah, that's a weird thing for PlayStation to announce on their State of Play thing, but whatever. You know,
Eternights.
Their games on more platforms that I actually, you know, use more than my PlayStation that has quite literally been gathering dust for the past several months.
Yeah.
You know, as
there was Eternights, which is like a dating sim and an action game. And yeah. Sorry, I kept throwing stuff like, oh yeah, all these trailers dropped. But I'm just kind of chilling on like games and stuff until like I haven't touched Lego Star Wars recently. I should go back and play more of it. But
sounds like you've been super busy, so I'm surprised.
I'll probably go back and play that and just wait until Xenoblade 3 comes out. Want to do the Patreon?
I'm trying to think if I did anything else.
Did you write?
Yeah, a bit.
There you go.
I mean, you released a new chapter of all of your stuff on fanfiction, at least.
Oh yeah, I did do
for
that.
it,
Yeah, I need to catch up on that. That's one of the things I did. Yeah. Oh, and I finally did the thing that I was supposed to do a couple weeks ago, and that's transfer my fucking phone number to the new one. Because that's how my brain works, is do the thing long after you were supposed to have done it, when you said you were going to do it, so everyone would know that your phone number would not be active for a time, and it would have been fine. But no, you're doing it like a week later, because you're a fucking moron. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Thank you to all of our patrons.
Stop.
I'm just playing with you. I'm just playing with you.
I own We Happy Few. When did I buy that?
Yeah, when did you buy that?
I assume it was on sale.
3 years ago?
Probably longer than that.
8 years ago? 1,000?
I have no idea when I got that.
Somewhere between 8 and 1,000, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know how you get information on your purchases in Steam, so I'm just gonna stop looking.
I'm sure it's in there. It's just, harder to access.
Yeah, so... I say I haven't played them. I do own Resident Evil 4 and 6.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, they go on sale and are in bundles constantly.
And Revelations 1 and 2.
Also a bundle. It's usually on sale.
I feel like those are things that I bought when sales were good, when games were like $3. Remember those days?
Even the PlayStation Network does Resident Evil sales, and they don't do... Yeah.
Remember those days when Steam sales had things go for like $3 for 24 hours? Yeah.
I actually don't.
Really?
I wasn't really huge on Steam, so...
Yeah, it was a golden age, like 2011 to 2015, I want to say, around there, is when they stopped doing it and made them shit. Yeah. Flash sales. They were great. Yeah, I have no idea. I could have sworn I bought something, but I guess I didn't. I'm fucking stupid.
You spent Monopoly money.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh well. I need to get We Happy Few off my screen. I might end up playing it, and then I would be sad. So, it's better for everyone.
And then we'd be the happy few. Because you'd no longer be one of the happy few.
Am I ever one of the happy few?
You tell me.
Yeah, are you? Oh.
Anyway, Patreon.
So, thank you to Ryu for that $10 donation and the 420. Thank you to Sailor of House Thunderbird for that $5 donation, actually. Thank you to Vale for that $10 donation. Thank you to Boy by Fresh for that $20 donation. Thank you to Greek Guy for that $1 donation. Thank you to Ethan F for that $10 donation. Thank you to Bomb BCM for that $1 donation. Thank you to the Cross Brain for that $10 donation. And thank you to Troper37, Tempest Troper, for that $10 donation. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Yay.
Oh boy, the tiredness just hit me. Making tacos is going to be hard. Fuck.
All right. Well, it's actually getting close to dinner time for me.
Yeah, that's good.
Which means it's probably way past dinner time for you, Slicer.
It's 7, so a little bit.
Which means for Casey, it's I don't know what time.
3 in the morning.
1.
So, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. We're gonna go stuff ourselves full of food.
Hell
Bye,
yeah.
y'all.
And releasing last week's podcast, food.
And that.
Get on that. All right. Later.